Jr. from Riverview, Florida, number 0, Jamel Jones. At forward, 6'8" senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number
You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Bob McKillop Invitational on League Ready. Beautiful Long Island, ready for our nightcap on Long Island Lutheran's senior night. So honoring their 4 seniors, Nigel James, the shifty guard who's headed to Marquette, Kyan Anthony, bound for Syracuse just like his father. Hey, who's that guy next to him? 19-year NBA vet, Olympic gold medalist Carmelo Anthony escorting his son on senior night. 2 more seniors for Lehigh, including Caden Mingo, who will play at Penn State next fall before going off to Happy Valley with his family, which includes his little brother, the 5-star junior guard, who you'll see in a couple of minutes. And then the big man, 7'1", 255-pound, Florida State-bound Nico Onyeguere. You can see which one he is at 7'1". So senior night for Lehigh, and our nightcap here at the McKillop Invitational. Alongside the great Trey Demps, I'm Sam Brief, and Trey, this is going to be a treat for the nightcap. IMG, one of the top scoring teams against Lehigh, which is just so balanced.
If you like guard play, this is the game for you. You talk about Darius Acuff, Nigel James, Kyan Anthony, the Mingo twins. There's a ton of great guard play, and both of these teams really love to score in the paint, but I'm trying to see which team is going to be efficient from the three-point line. Both of these teams make under 5 threes per game.
And both of them struggled at times yesterday from 3. IMG just 5 of 26 from downtown. Double overtime loss yesterday to Bella Vista. Well, of course, a lot of the IMG offense goes through Darius Acuff. What do you look for from him?
Well, I think for Darius Acuff, it's trying to be a little bit more efficient and trying to maybe get something off the ball a little bit more. He dominates the basketball so much, and he's so good in one-on-one situations, but you have to make life easier for yourself. Get out in transition, come off a screen, try to make things a little bit easy for you on the offensive end, and then get your other guys involved as well.
And opposing him, one of the best bulldog defenders in the EYBL, someone I know you love watching, and Nigel James. What makes him so special?
Well, I think it's the energy and the toughness that he brings. He's undersized at about 6 feet tall, but he brings on the defensive end. He pressures the basketball. He's such a good decision maker, plays well off a pick and roll. Not a great shooter, which a lot of this Lehigh team doesn't have a ton of great shooting, but can get to the paint with the best of them.
And Lehigh shooting just 26% from downtown this season. That's the worst mark in the EYBL. But at 6-4, they are ranked 6th in the country. And here is the IMG starting lineup for the 7th-year head coach Sean McAloon. And along with Acuff, what a front court. Sadiq White, Kareem Stagg.
Yeah, both of those guys are great athletes and are able to score. Just have to get them the ball into their sweet spots, especially in the half court.
And for Lehigh, the Mingos, Kyan Anthony, and in their front court, MJ Madison and Nico Onyeguere really helped establish themselves early in a 35-point win yesterday against Oak Hill. So Lehigh and IMG, number 6 against number 5. We'll see if IMG can play spoiler on Lehigh senior night. IMG in the black, Lehigh in the white, and Sadiq White attacking Onyeguere early, but comes up empty. So Lehigh led by James, Anthony, and the Mingos. Here's Onyeguere. Back to James, senior playing his last home game with the Crusaders. Onyeguere finds Mingo. Back to Onyeguere, the big man, 4-3. He splashes from downtown.
The guy that's coming into this tournament had made no threes. Now hitting his second one after hitting a big one in the overtimes yesterday.
And weaving in down low, great defense on the drive from Kareem Stagg. Anthony in the corner, A shot fake, weaving in, the teardrop bounces in. Kyan Anthony.
Great shot fake from Anthony there, and good job avoiding the shot blocker, getting the ball off early for the floater.
Now Acuff Jr. going to work. Step back from the free throw line, finds nothing. Here comes Caden Mingo, the senior, bound for Penn State next fall. Into the corner for Madison. MJ Madison to the open Onyekwere. Nice defensive recovery for Quinones. Down low, White to Acuff. That's a long two, and he gets it to go.
And that's where he's really good, in the mid-range area. Good job of coming off that screen, locked and loaded, going to his left, where a lot of right-handed players like to shoot the pull-up jump shot.
They counted that as a three. Oh yeah, there we go, two. Had his left foot on the line. And a long three for Mingo, well short. Here come the Ascenders, and it's Acuff with a teardrop in transition. He's almost impossible to stop.
According to Synergy, he averages about 8.5 points per game in transition.
And driving in, Mingo with the miss. Rebound White. And Mingo plucks it away. And then he gets fouled going up. You mentioned the transition game, 8.5 points a game in transition for Acuff, part of his 25 a game that lead the EYBL. Five-star recruit, #1 point guard in the country, off to Arkansas.
It'll be fun to watch him play under John Calipari. Arkansas playing a little bit better as of late, but definitely been a disappointment this year. And so there's going to be big expectations next season on Acuff's shoulders.
A big win the other night in Lexington in the Calipari return game. He's had so many great guards over the years.
Man.
Going back to great Derrick Rose at Memphis, to guys like John Wall and company at Kentucky. How do you see Acuff fitting in the Calipari system?
Well, there's a lot of drive and penetration opportunities, and Coach Cal is going to open up the floor, play 5 out, and it's going to be a matter of how many shooters he has around him, because if there's not as many shooters and guys that are capable three-point shooters, it's going to limit his opportunities and get into the painted area.
Acuff struggling from downtown yesterday and for parts of this season.
And that'll be big for him too, is teams are going to go underneath on all his screens the next level.
Sadiq White with a mid-ranger. The Syracuse-bound big man with his first bucket. So a couple opponents tonight. Sadiq White, Kyan Anthony will be teammates next year up in Syracuse. And here goes Anthony. Quinones gets called for the foul. He can't believe it. He's saying Anthony's elbow was pretty much lodged in his chest.
That could have easily been a double foul,
right?
As we see it again. Both guys are kind of, I don't know, it's a little hook and hold there from Anthony.
But it's Quinones who gets tacked for the foul. So James and company back to work.
If I'm IMG, I'm really packing the paint and making Lou High beat me from the outside.
James to Anthony. The three. Just off, and that plan working for IMG. In transition, here goes Acuff. Into the corner, a turnover.
And to that point, we saw a turnover there from Acuff. Normally, he's so good in transition, especially scoring the ball. So if you force Lou High to shoot longer three-pointers and you have long rebounds, you're going to have transition opportunities.
Here goes Anthony. Mingo to Kamisoko. Now Madison just kind of throwing it away. Awkward possession there for Lou High. Quinones weaves in and left it short. Rebounded by Mingo. Off to the younger Mingo. Here's Dylan, the 5-star junior, stepping out of bounds. That'll send us to our first media break. A premier matchup between IMG and Lutheran. And the teams now, yes, there they go, to their benches. IMG, Lutheran, Bob McKillop Invitational continues after this.
Sure, I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. This is Winning Basketball, and delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor, Chipotle, for real. 5th-ranked IMG, 6th-ranked Lutheran. On Lutheran's senior night, Kyan Anthony, one of the 4 seniors honored. His pops, future Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony, in the house tonight for senior night. And he just found out yesterday that he was a nominee for the next Basketball Hall of Fame class.
You know what I really like about Kyan's stories? We see the tip in there from IMG. He's kind of coming into college with a chip on his shoulder. There's some doubt of how he's going to transition to the college ranks as we see him with the floater, and didn't make the USA team, wasn't a McDonald's All-American. So I love the fact that he's going to come in with the narrative of a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
There's Beamer with the bucket, and you make a great point. He hasn't quite broken through to that upper echelon of being on Team USA, of being a McDonald's All-American. Missed half of his senior season with a back injury. So we'll have to overcome some hurdles as Jones flies in for the bucket. And IMG on an 8-0 run.
And to that point, I think it's going to be all predicated on the improvement of his jump shot. You talk about Anthony, he can do pretty much anything else.
It's bobbled away by Quinones. So you want him to improve the jump shot. What's the hallmark of his game?
Well, I think he's very slippery in terms of his ability to change speeds and create space, especially once he gets beyond inside the three-point line. But it's just the comfortability beyond the arc, whether it's off the dribble or off the catch.
Kamisoko splashes a 3. Second 3-ball of the day for Lutheran. Now here's Anthony's future college teammate. White lost it. Back the other way. James, a 3, just off. Rebound tips to the Ascenders.
I'll say this, Sam. I was thinking this yesterday. Nigel James, the Mingle brothers, and Anthony, they should be in the gym at 6 in the morning every day making 500 shots. Because between all 4 of those guys, they're a jump shot away, in my opinion, of being big-time college basketball players.
You mentioned James going into a perfect system in Marquette. But if he's a 3-point threat, he could be one of the best guards in the nation.
100%.
A 3 for Beamer. In and out. Onyeguere scoops it. Here goes the elder Mingo. Caden weaving in. Down to Onyeguere with a 2-handed slam.
I've loved Nico's activity in both games. Guys averaging under 6. Thought he last game started with a ton of energy, rolling hard to the basket, running the floor, being a threat defensively, guarding the basket.
12 points, 11 rebounds yesterday. 5 and 2 so far tonight. White with an extra step. That's IMG turnover number 4.
Sadiq White is going to continue to develop as we see
Onyeguere.
Great finish there, great feed. Ooh.
James cooking. James the finish.
How about the split of the pick and roll? We saw that a couple times yesterday against Oak Hill.
Acuff unable to respond. Onyeguere the board. And a foul called on Dylan Mingo. It's a juicy battle so far. We're seeing it constantly go back and forth. IMG went on an 8-0 run, and then over the last minute 49, Lehigh has responded with a 7-0 run. Let's see if Acuff can change that. Operating in the corner against James. Flip to Beamer. Beamer traveled. And back-to-back IMG turnovers.
Beamer really struggled yesterday against Bella Vista. 4 points, 1 of 6, couple turnovers. He's a guy that could be a secondary playmaker to Acuff.
James coughed it up. Here comes White. Up ahead to Jermel Jones. And that ends the 7-0 run.
He was a bright spot yesterday. 10 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 5 of 5 inside the three-point range.
Number 11 ranked shooting guard in the junior class. Jermel Jones. And then James misses a floater. Numbers for IMG. Look at the speed from Jones. And the foul.
It's good to see him get his confidence. Somebody who's averaging under 4 points a game, playing around 20 minutes per. Coming off a double-figure performance yesterday. A nice start for him. As you mentioned, ranked top 60. Sometimes when you play against your local competition, you're able to have certain advantages, and then when you get on the national stage, there's a little bit of a learning curve in terms of how you're going to be productive on both ends of the floor.
Jermel Jones, he can score in a hurry. Almost 20 points per game at the under-16 EYBL last summer. And now at IMG, looking for a huge win over Lehigh. Shot clock's off, so Mingo and company can take their time. This is the elder Mingo, Caden. Acuff all over him. Onyeguere up top. Now James with a slip, and it's a travel. So IMG takes back over with 5 seconds.
It's great ball pressure from Acuff.
And here goes Acuff. A 3 at the buzzer, just off. And what a first quarter at the Bob McKillop Invitational. IMG went on an 8-0 run, then a Lehigh 7-0 run, then an IMG 5-0 run. Something's got to give. These are two super talented teams. Well, now let's take a look at tonight's Chipotle Player Spotlight. The Syracuse-bound Cayenne Anthony, son of Carmelo, and what's he getting at Chipotle? Steak bowl, white rice, black beans, lettuce.
I love the red meat because Cayenne Anthony needs to probably put on some muscle. White rice, black beans, I approve of that. And how about another guy with the 3 for 3 as of late, 3 in a row.
I have to say,
vegetables.
I have to say, I give these kids some credit. Was incredibly disappointed.
Maybe they heard us and they changed it and added lettuce.
Yeah, we were complaining on air. I was seeing just like rice, meat, cheese, sour cream, nothing else. We had Jayon Pitt earlier with lettuce, same with Cayenne Anthony. And what do you think the message is, other than eat your veggies, for John Buck here? Lehigh let their lead slip away late in the quarter.
I think, in their half-court offense has to be a little bit more fluid. And that's where you lean on your senior leader in James. I think the ball pressure of IMG and the size inside has definitely affected offensively Lehigh in the half court.
IMG scored 12 of its 17 points in the paint. For Lehigh, just 6. But Lehigh hit a couple of triples. IMG still 0 for 2 from behind the arc. Second quarter in our nightcap at the Bob McKillop Invitational. And that bounces out off of Beamer.
A little design set. Something that the coaching staff probably saw with Beamer denying the wing. And so you try to get James going back door, but it's good recovery from Beamer.
Quick trigger, what a find from James to get Kamisoko.
It's a great baseline out of bounds set. A little miscommunication there from Lehigh. Excuse me, from IMG.
Here's Stagg going by on Yaquere. What a slam.
Throw it down, big fella.
Feels like you put everyone on a poster. And now Mingo responds with a travel. Well, Kareem Stagg with one of the dunks of the EYBL season.
It's an inverted pick and roll where you have a guard setting the ball screen and you have the big coming off of it. Normally you see it the other way around, and Stagg throwing that thing down with authority.
Then he grabs an offensive board and it spills out to Acuff. Down low he finds Chase Foster with his first basket of the weekend.
It's a good job of Foster seeking out contact. Sometimes when you get underneath the basket, you have to reposition yourself to get a good angle.
Anthony is stripped, recovers. And now Cayenne gets it back out to James. A 9-2 run for IMG right now as Mingo rumbles in with the left hand, draws the foul. Whew, still recovering from that Kareem Stagg flush. As Dylan Mingo heads to the stripe. So Mingo's interesting. Just a junior, number 3 ranked shooting guard in his class. He'll have his pick of the litter for where to go to school. What's the next step in his development?
Well, I think it's three-point shooting. I mean, you look at the numbers. He had a good three-point shooting yesterday against Oak Hill, 3 of 5, but on the season, shooting a little bit under 30% from 3. And I think the fluidity of his jump shot could definitely use some work as he heads into college, something he could definitely work on, and just shooting the same shot every time and making it efficient and fluid.
Beamer finds Foster. Now Beamer with the drive, sort of an awkward shot, boarded by Madison. And Lehigh quick in transition. Mingo, nice touch pass to Anthony. Cayenne goes to work and he gets stripped. Here goes Acuff, this is where he thrives. To the open Beamer, 3-ball off. And IMG still without a triple.
And Beamer is a 45% three-point shooter, struggled here in this tournament.
Generally, one of the best in the EYBL. Lehigh in a drought. Anthony blocked, but looks like a goaltend.
He changed his pace so well. Pick and roll, little retreat dribble off the pick and roll. And then a quick burst to the basket as the big man is going back to his man. Just a great finish. Left hand, left foot. Harder for the shot blocker to time.
And they charge a foul to Darius Acuff, so an and one opportunity now for Anthony. So Cayenne Anthony, who made his season debut in January at the LaPorte Invitational, back injury had kept him out. They were going to clean up a wet spot. We tip our cap to Sadiq White. Good job wiping up the spot as we get ready for Anthony at the stripe. His future teammate up at Syracuse, they might make a nice 1-2 punch. A couple of freshmen in the incoming class.
It's obviously hard to win with freshmen now, especially at the Power 5 level. But both of those guys, great athletes, great potential. What I love is it's a lot of room to improve with the talent they already have.
All knotted up at 21. Acuff to Jones. Now Beamer looking to get hot. IMG has yet to hit a three-pointer. Acuff, a little nubber falls.
And Sam, 33 of the 44 points scored in this game have either been from free throws or the painted area.
Right, this has been interior.
And from the guards, too. It's not probably predominantly from the guards.
It feels unrecognizable because modern basketball is a glorified three-point contest. White on the interior.
Another paint point.
IMG, no three-pointers. Luhai, 2 of them. Pretty much everything else in that paint. Now Anthony. Out to James. A 3-ball falls. The exterior works too.
And James has a set shot, which makes it harder to shoot on the move, but when he's standing still, it looks really pretty.
Here's Acuff. Screen comes from White. Acuff finds White. Flips it out. Now Beamer missing the 3. But Jones flies in for the board, cannot hit the putback. Nice defensive hold for Onyeguere. Onyeguere sets the screen. Now Anthony for 3. Got fouled. Trey Beamer knocked him down. A costly foul will send Anthony to the stripe. What a battle between IMG and Luhai. Sadiq White and company with a 1-point lead at the McKillop Invitational.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
So how would you describe the chicken to someone who had never tasted it?
Literally melt in your mouth tender. We don't have a freezer, you know? It's almost like a farmer's market. When you walk into the restaurant, you should hear the sizzle that you're hearing right now. Just sends all those waves up to your mouth.
You're making me hungry.
Mello in the house. Yesterday, he was named as one of the Basketball Hall of Fame finalists for the next class. He's a shoo-in after 19 tremendous NBA seasons. He's here to watch his boy, Kyan Anthony, on senior night. What a legend.
Man, he, in terms of scoring, one of the best of all time. Easily top 5. It's just, he had a burst, strong build, could score from all 3 levels. His isolation game, you throw that ball to him in the mid-post, and it was money.
Once the pride of Oak Hill Academy, who we saw losing our first game of the afternoon. And then on to Syracuse, where as a freshman, he led them to the 03 national title. And then 23 years later, his son, Kyan Anthony, will follow in his footsteps. And right now, Kyan shooting 3 free throws. He was fouled on a 3-pointer right before the timeout. and making his pops proud, hitting all three.
What I loved about Carmelo's retirement post a year or two ago was the fact that he made it about Kion, and that he said that his journey was next up, and that was one of the reasons why he wanted to transition on to focus on helping him, as we see a tough fall.
And Jermel Jones clearly in a world of pain on the ground. His coach Sean McAloon and training staff coming over to him as we watch 0 and black here.
Man.
James came in like a safety over the top. Super apologetic right away. Of course, nothing intentional, but a ton of pain for James. So while they sort that out, zoom out, take a look at the EYBL Scholastic standings. And we already have been so impressed this weekend by Bella Vista. Entered in first place, and they will leave New York still in first place.
Just a well-balanced attack. It's a team that defends at a high level. It's starting to get the rhythm offensively, led by Sadler.
And the top 10 will make it to the EYBL Scholastic Tournament, which is the first week of March. The winner gets an auto bid to the Chipotle Nationals just outside of Indianapolis in early April. We expect both of these teams to be there, along with Bella Vista, Brewster, Montverde, and the rest of the best, as Jones recovers from that hard fall. Good to see him able to walk off. So we'll keep playing. Jones on the bench. Quinones came in to replace him, and he's up top with the ball. IMG down 2. And White with an extra step. That's his second travel of the evening.
Sadiq White, only 1 of 5 from 3. It's a great pass off the pick and roll from Acuff as his man is underneath the basket, helping on the roll. You have to be able to knock that one down.
And Anthony knocks that one down.
His jumper is so smooth, and you just wonder if it's confidence, if it's rhythm, why he's not more efficient.
Acuff able to get it to Beamer. You make a great point with Anthony. The shot looks so pretty.
It looks like a 40% three-point shooter.
Right. He's not even close to that. Here's Acuff with a long miss. Rebound tips. Right back to IMG, and it's Beamer missing now from the elbow. Lou high ball. Now Anthony, that smooth jumper. He fell down, no foul call. And Acuff back the other way. Acuff powers through and able to draw contact in a foul that goes against Kamisoko.
See it again, good hesitation. So good at seeking out contact. Something that a lot of times is natural. Something you can't really teach or work on. And
that nose for contact. Acuff today's been quiet though, Trey. 6 points after 32 yesterday in the double overtime loss to Bella Vista.
He shot the ball a total of 40 times yesterday between field goal attempts and free throws. It's incredible.
His usage rate off the charts. And now on the baseline, he sticks it. Now Mingo looking for the response off a screen from Onyeguere. They keep it on the perimeter here. Mingo to Mingo. And back out. Caden Mingo resetting things. Off to Anthony. Screen comes from Onyeguere. Anthony, fall away 3. Not even close. Now it's Beamer's turn. Beamer to White with the slam.
Great play from Beamer in transition. Made the big think like he was going to go up for it. So Nico jumped and he was able to drop it off to Sadiq.
Now MJ Madison missing a three. IMG a chance to take the lead. Acuff through traffic, finds Stagg for the dunk. His court vision, it's just next level. That's why he's playing at the next level.
Yes.
Bound for the SEC and Arkansas in the fall.
Definitely going to vie for freshman of the year in that conference.
Here goes Anthony downhill and fouled by Beamer. Some more free throws for Kyan Anthony, who seems to have a little pep in his step. 11 points, a perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe, and more free throws about to come.
He's had a couple grenade balls where he's gotten the ball like 2 or 3 seconds on the shot clock where he's kind of had to hoist something up. But outside of those couple possessions, has been really efficient. And one of the things that he's done to get himself back in rhythm after the injury is getting to the foul line as he misses the first. Over his last 3 games, averaging 5 free throw attempts, already has 5 here in the first half.
As a team, Lehigh has shot 9 free throws, IMG just 1. But Ascenders lead it as Anthony leaves 2 points on the line. Under a minute to go till halftime. Final game of the Bob McKillop Invitational. What's been a super entertaining weekend. Drawing to a close as Acuff sticks a 3.
If he's making 3-pointers, he's unguardable at this level. And he's already pretty much unguardable, but just adds a whole different dimension.
Mingo squeezes in a bucket. And now the shot clock off, so IMG smartly moving slow. Stagg to Chase Foster. And Foster gets a shot up. Mingo blocked it and then pries it away. Dylan Mingo through some traffic and the tip back for Madison. Nope, offensive basket interference. I think the ball was still hanging on the rim for Madison.
That was a close one. With the ball, that call probably could have gone either way, as it was starting to come off. It just went a little bit too early.
You see John Buck, his coach, saying, yeah, good job.
Yeah, that's
the instinct is right.
And the effort is there. That's, as a coach, what you care about most.
You'd rather have your guy fly in for that than just sit and watch.
Exactly.
So an IMG timeout here, 7.9. The Ascenders, sort of an anomaly right now, Trey. Just 1 free throw, just 1 made 3-pointer, and yet they lead by 2.
I mean, there are 15 field goals inside the 3-point line and 22 paint points for IMG. A lot of it instigated by Darius Acuff, who kind of gets into the painted area at will, and he's able to play make for himself or others.
The kid's a beast. Here he goes, up 2. Finds Stagg, down to White, and stripped by Mingo at the buzzer. Well, we knew this one would be good. IMG, number 5 in the country. Lehigh, number 6. And it's IMG by 2 at halftime. This game full of highlights. IMG all inside.
He's doing a good job of getting out in transition and making the right reads, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for drop-offs. It's a great first half in terms of paint points.
And
for
Darius
IMG.
Acuff, he can splash a 3. That was the only 3 of the first half for IMG. Ascenders by 2 at the break. The Bob McKillop Invitational continues after this. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at the Bob McKillop Invitational on League Ready. Halftime of a top-flight matchup between IMG and Lehigh, and it's IMG by 2. Good to have you back. This one is about as even as it gets, and really contrasting styles in the first half. IMG has done the bulk of their work on the interior, Trey.
Yeah, I mean, talk about their paint points, 22 paint points. And how about this? You get 10 assists on 16 made field goals. And I think it's really started with their leader in A-Cuff being a really good job of sharing the basketball, getting his teammates involved.
1 made free throw, 1 made three-pointer, and that team is up 2.
And Lehigh has done a really good job of getting to the foul line, 8 of 10 in the first half. Both teams are just so skilled, especially at the guard position of attacking the painted area.
First half top scorers, Kyan Anthony with 11 for Lehigh, and Darius Acuff with the ball. He's got 11 for IMG. Sam Brief, Trey Demps, our wonderful crew with you for the final 16 minutes of the Bob McKillop Invitational. Kareem Stagg rumbles into some contact, and it's foul number 1 on Onyeguere.
And that was the similar action where Stagg in that first had that monstrous dunk where you have that inverted ball screen. I love that play out of the half where you have your best player in A-Cuff setting the screen, and you're guarding a guy like A-Cuff. You're going to stay home, and so that's going to open up the lane completely for the big fella.
Just the second free throw attempt for IMG as 7th-year head coach Sean McAloon looks to figure out the next 16 minutes. Stagg splits him. On the night, 5 points, 3 boards, and one of the dunks of the season in the second quarter. Now for Lehigh on their senior night, the senior Caden Mingo out to Madison. Up top to Anthony. Now Anthony kicks. Onyeguere shoots a 3. Not his shot, although we've seen a couple of them fall for the big man. And rebound to IMG.
That was great defense from Stagg because Anthony had the lane open on the pick and roll, and he clogged it up.
Good vision, good find. And Onyeguere committed the foul, but he took the brunt of that. Acuff with a perfect setup.
It's the change of pace, the control, and having his eyes up as he's down there and throws that ball right over the top.
So IMG ball under the basket. IMG looking to split their 2 at the McKillop Invitational yesterday. Suffered a 9-point double overtime loss to Bella Vista. Lehigh looking for a perfect weekend. They smothered Oak Hill last night by 35. It's Acuff short on a 3. Long rebound for Mingo. Finally wrangled it. Now to his older brother, Caden Mingo, and the foul.
Those guys are as good as they come. Between those 4 guards for Lehigh in transition. See Mingo getting caught in the corner, finding his brother. Whenever you put 2 on the basketball, you have outnumbered situations on the backside. And how about Caden Mingo getting to the lane and finishing through the contact?
Love a Mingo connection. And an 83% free throw shooter with the miss, but Madison able to chase down the board. Now Dylan Mingo for 3. So 5 points for Mingos on that possession.
And the way that he's been shooting the basketball really upped his percentage almost by 10% here in this tournament.
He's hit 4 of his last 6 3-pointers. And IMG will keep it here.
He's going to almost equal his total 3-point field goals total at 7 coming into this tournament.
The New York air treating Mingo well this weekend. Acuff with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Step back, 3, well off. And Caden Mingo with the board. Mingo, deep 3, well off, rebounded by White, and he finds a cherry picker. It's Acuff to tie it.
And that was not a great shot from Caden Mingo. It was unexpected. You didn't have court balance. You came off the pick and roll a little bit forced.
And for the response, what a strong move by Kyan Anthony.
And he has a slight frame, but he has so much power and strength once he gets into that painted area. That's why he's able to draw so many fouls.
Nifty step back for Stagg. Gives IMG the lead.
Stagg doesn't take many of them coming into this tournament. 3 of 4. Knocks down that one. Nice step back.
Just IMG's second 3. In a heavyweight battle, 1-point game. Mingo blocked by Acuff. But they will charge Acuff with his 3rd personal.
And that's big, and great seal off there from Nico as he was posting up. He saw the ball coming towards him as Mingo was driving. He kind of backed out his defender and cleared that lane up.
Penn State bound Caden Mingo. Another look at that last play.
See it again here. You see Nico, he's clearing his man out.
Right.
Doesn't allow him to come over and help and Stagg.
And then Caden ties it up with the free throw. So even at 40, with 5 to go in the 3rd, Sadiq White, pocket picked, but it goes out to Beamer. Back to White now with some hesitation. He's fouled by Onyeguere, who has now committed 3 fouls in the last 3 minutes.
Good job by Sadiq White, utilizing the shot fake, getting his defender in the air. Although, I think White, this tournament has just looked a little bit rushed on the offensive end.
Nice feed to Acuff, but he's blocked. Mingo with the rejection. Anthony for 3. In and out. Back the other way, it's Trey Beamer. He shimmies in. He's stuffed by Kamisoko. And then IMG coach Sean McAloon had to dive out of the way.
It's been a tough tournament for Trey Beamer, who's coming into almost 11 points per game, 2.2 assists, shooting 53% from the field. Really struggled to find any offensive rhythm and really struggled to get his shot off.
Today with only 2 points. Looking to add to it here, Beamer. To White. The 3 is good. First 3 ball for Sadiq White.
Second of the Scholastic season. That's what you want to see more of both of these teams for their development, is shooting the 3 and feeling confident like we see there with Mingo.
And Dylan Mingo following orders. He's hit 5 of his last 7 from 3. And then his older brother picks the pocket of Kareem Stagg. Mingo to Mingo. And he can't hit this one. Offensive board, Madison right back up.
And what I love about just prep basketball is guys early on are able to find their roles.
And now it's time to find the edge. Neither team able to break away as it's Lehigh by 2 halfway through the 3rd.
sure I was the first pick, the rookie to watch, and the back-to-back All-Star. But to get even better, I had to get real with myself. I got real about how I showed up. I got real about how I trained. I got real about what I ate. The results, something about this season, man, it just feels different.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. This is Winning Basketball and delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle for real. IMG tonight, 24 points in the paint. They've dominated inside, but Trey, they find themselves down 2 and searching for some answers.
It's going to be a continual question for who outside of A-Cuff is going to deliver on the offensive end, especially with Beamer struggling. Can it be Sadiq White that gets in rhythm offensively?
Darius A-Cuff for 3. It's boarded by Kamisoko. IMG just 3 of 12 from downtown as Caden Mingo goes in and gets fouled by Sadiq White. Just a second on White.
I mean, the array of moves, especially from the one-on-one standpoint in transition, that the guards in these games have. You've seen a little bit of everything, a little misdirection between the legs action from Mingo. For not moves that we were doing when I was in high school.
No, those moves have evolved.
Very much so.
Well, come on, Trey, you had some nice moves. Maybe not those, but good stuff. Oh, maybe not this. James. And the foul. That was beautiful.
I mean, it's the change of pace, the step back. It's, you get the AI inverted between the legs, the hesitation, the shot fake. It's the whole package with these guards on both teams.
James is elite, but he leaves one on the line. 7 points, 3 dimes for Nigel James. Low high in the middle of a 7-0 run. Felipe Quinones off to Acuff. Acuff whirls inside and gets fouled by James. Some more free throws now for Darius Acuff.
The way that he attacks gaps, it's almost like a running back. As soon as he sees it, he's able to muscle through the contact and get exactly where he wants to go and draw fouls.
And he's built, right? He's got that lower body strength like a lot of running backs do.
I mean, easily could have been probably a 5-star football player.
Well, he settled in as a 5-star basketball player, number 5 in his class. Was a part of Team USA at the Under-18 National Team America Cup. Gold medalist. And now Lehigh ball. 2:40 left in the third. This game has had just a really nice pace to it.
It has.
Hasn't it?
It's been good half-court offense. Both teams have gotten opportunities in transition. The defense has been at a high level. Feel like you're watching a college game.
And more than half of these guys will play Power 4, Power 5 basketball next year. In the corner, Kamisoko. Short on the 3, and rebound ripped away by Foster. Here goes Acuff, so methodical.
And you wonder, Sam, like, is this really the 5th best team in the country? Is this really the 6th best team in the country? I'm here to tell you that's probably accurate rankings.
Acuff for 3. He says we might be better than 5th. So Darius Acuff now with the game high. 18 points. It's Caden Mingo rumbling in to Kamisoko. A defensive breakdown.
If there's young players watching this, watch the change of pace. You can't always play at one speed, and these guards are as good as anybody at the high school level, maybe even the college level, at changing speeds.
James thought about 3, instead goes in for 2, and he missed it. And then stripped. Kamisoko wanted the foul. Here goes Acuff to White for the alley-oop. Ascenders back on top. What's Lehigh got in terms of a response? Anthony's had a quiet quarter. A little stumble. Now Kamisoko. Anthony in his final home game, finding James, and he missed the 3. Beamer, like lightning, off the glass. And IMG by 3.
It's the first time that I've seen Beamer in this tournament turn on the jets, fight through contact in the drive, and finish strong.
James will chew some clock as IMG is on a 9-2 run. It's been back and forth between these two powers. Mingo, the step back 3. Yes, sir. Mingo ties it at 52.
Just so smooth. The reverse between the legs, letting the defender fly by after going over the ball screen.
And Acuff at the buzzer, just left it short. This has the makings of an instant classic. 52-52. And with his team in a big deficit, Caden Mingo with the step back.
Getting into his bag. I see you, young fella.
So on to the fourth quarter now. We're seeing the three-pointers start to fly with a little more pace. IMG had just 1 in the first half, hit 3 of them in that third quarter. Here in the booth, Sam Brief, Trey Demps, good to be with you for the final game of the Bob McKillop Invitational. Trey, what's been the identity of this game for you? Just so back and forth.
Well, I think it's just been guard play. I mean, you've seen the full array of guard play in terms of playmaking, change of pace, 3-level scoring, getting downhill. Guys are starting to make some perimeter shots. It's been fun to watch.
All right, so down the wire, guard play, guys like Acuff, guys like James will be so crucial. What's something all these young guys have to keep in mind in the fourth?
Well, I think you have to get the ball into your playmakers' hands in the right areas of the floor. And I think that's the middle of the floor, especially as the game slows down a little bit. You have to be cognitive of having good spacing on the offensive end, playing in the first third, which means in between the elbows where you have the most space to operate, because the transition opportunities are going to be limited as this game goes down to the wire. And then from there, you have to be aggressive and decisive in your playmaking.
Nigel James, Kyan Anthony and company in their final home game as Lehigh Crusaders. They're tied at 52 against the 5th-ranked team in the land. The Bob McKillop Invitational, Coach McKillop watching from his courtside seat. And a whistle to start the fourth quarter. They'll have Lehigh throw it in again. Darius Acuff leading all scorers with 18. Kyan Anthony not far behind with 13. Here's Kyan working on Acuff. Powers past a screen. The step back is beautiful.
Great job of utilizing the rejection of the ball screen, where you go to the opposite side of where the screen is being set, and then he's just so smooth and silky in that mid-range.
Quinones, the shot, or the pass rather, intercepted by Anthony. Into the corner, Mingo, the fake, and then it goes off of Nigel James. And a turnover for Lehigh.
And you see Nigel James say, hey man, shoot that floater. Just being a little bit too unselfish there.
Right, sometimes the extra pass is not necessary. Here's Acuff. Step back three. Not there. Rebound Onyeguere. Here's James. Like a burst of lightning for two.
Almost looked like he was going to punch on him. The way he exploded to that basket. Nonetheless, great finish off of 2 feet.
It's a 7-0 Lehigh run. Beamer to Stagg. Just kept it and dunked it.
Kion Anthony was the backside help on the pick and roll. Try to go for the steal. You have to be sure that you're going to get it because you're the last line of defense.
Now James's turn. He bumps into Stagg. Finds Madison. Mid-ranger off. Onyeguere. Offensive rebound. He's 1 on 3 right now. The 7'1" big man rips it off the back of Foster. And it's a jump ball.
And that's one of the tough things for big men because especially in a guard-oriented game, a guy like Nico doesn't get the ball a ton, and so when he gets it on an offensive board, he's trying to be greedy and looking to score, but if you have 3 guys around you, got to kick that thing out.
Onyeguere in the game with 3 fouls. Acuff for IMG also has 3. That's it in terms of foul trouble. Here's Acuff. At the 6-minute mark, makes his move. Out to Beamer. Beamer slices in. And he finds Stagg, who gets fouled right away. So big free throws coming for Kareem.
And that's huge to have Beamer now as a secondary playmaker. We've been waiting for about 7 quarters for him to come alive. And this is a great take. Finds Stagg playing off of 2 feet. And that what it does, Sam, is it now allows Acuff to get a few possessions off in terms of having to be the one to be the primary playmaker.
Acuff has had a ton of weight on his shoulders. Usage rate of almost 40% tonight. Stagg can't tie it. Onyeguere boards it. So IMG leading some points at the line. Down 1 and approaching the 5-minute mark. Mingo to Mingo for 3. Yes, sir.
And that's the look off. It's just great point guard play. You look off the bottom man on the defensive rotation who's helping on the roll. And if you do a good enough job, he won't have enough time to get back to the corner to contest the jump shot.
Acuff to Stagg, and Stagg was fouled. Kion Anthony called for it. Now he's got to be held back as he approaches the official. Just his first. He doth protest, wants an explanation.
Yeah.
So Stagg back to the stripe. Hey Trey, how about Dylan Mingo this weekend? 6 for 9 from downtown. He's only missed once tonight.
It's huge. Because, I mean, between both of the Mingos, especially Dylan, who's a 5-star guy, it's the jump shooting that's kind of been his bugaboo. Can do pretty much everything else on the floor, both ends. If he can develop the confidence in that jump shot, he's going to be a guy that's going to be on draft boards.
A couple of important free throws there for Stagg. Indeed, draft boards might be in Mingo's future. And for a lot of these guys, maybe this guy, it's Anthony. To Mingo, to James. James, the step back. 3 is just off. Rebound, scooped off the ground by Onyeguere, then misses the hook. Then Mingo gets it back. James now. Looks like they'll get a foul. It goes on IMG's Trey Beamer.
I'm surprised James didn't try to go up with it as soon as he got Beamer in the air.
So fresh 30 instead for Lehigh. Here's Anthony, leading by 2. Rumbles in. Anthony, the step through. Left hand, no. Quick pass up ahead for Beamer. Lobs it for White. and we're tied.
It's great timing there from Beamer. Didn't throw the first lob, kind of hesitated for a second. Got a little bit closer to the basket for a better angle in the pass.
Now it's
Travel.
James with an extra step.
And I love what Beamer did. He's providing so much help because he's basically telling Nigel James, you're going to have to beat me from the three-point line.
And James has only one three-pointer tonight. He's on the ball now. Acuff going to work. Get it around to Stagg down low. Acuff was trying to thread it back to Stagg. It leads to a runaway for James.
Man, he's got some ups. I mean, he cocked that thing back.
Listed at 6 foot even. Lehigh by 2. Here's Acuff. And a called timeout. It's turning into a bit of a dunk fiesta here at Lehigh. Beamer to Sadiq White. And then on the other end, little guy able to get up. But we gotta watch the alley again.
You're really making all of this by hand.
Oh yeah. The avocados are hand mashed, the chips are hand tossed, and everything is made fresh.
You make it fresh every day.
Yes, every day. The Chipotle way is we make it fresh every day.
Sounds delicious.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
Nigel James, 6 foot point guard, can get up with the best of them.
And that ball almost hit his neck the way he cocked that thing back.
And James with 11 points. He's one of 4 Lehigh Crusaders in double figures on their senior night. Up 2 on IMG. Most important thing down the stretch for Lehigh is what?
Again, it's just getting high quality shots on the offensive end and then stopping number 5 in black and making everything difficult for him.
Number 5, that's Darius Acuff with 18 points. Here he goes with a miss. So they're able to stop him there. James, Mingo, back to James. To an open Anthony. Lob for Onyekwere.
That was an awkward place for Anthony to catch that ball, kind of in the short corner. Just did a good job of taking his time, though.
Now Beamer loses it, but it'll stay here with IMG. And back on the other end, that was such a smooth recovery by Anthony when he was kind of out of position.
Yeah.
Beamer stepping through, just throws it up, and Mingo clears the glass to his older brother. James goes inside, and he was so open.
And he saw that there was no shot blocker down there. And that's the best time to attack in late transition situations. It's Nigel James once again coming up good in the clutch.
James, super clutch, and this looked like a defensive breakdown.
Yeah, just a late transition situation. Stagg was not back on defense, and that was great recognition from Nigel James to attack the paint, knowing that if I got by my initial defender, going to be a free open layup.
This game has been a beauty. No lead has been larger than 6 points, and that's what we got right now, 65-59. A 6-0 run for the home team Blue High. What's changed for IMG in these last couple minutes?
Well, when the ball is not in A-Cuff's hands, which Blue High has multiple bodies they can send at him defensively to deny him the ball and make things difficult for him, especially in the half court. It's just a matter of who's going to be that secondary playmaker.
Outside of A-Cuff with 18, Sadiq White, Kareem Stagg both have 13. Those are the big men. We look at guard play today and almost nothing outside of A-Cuff. Just Trey Beamer with 4 points.
It's been Stagg and White who have 13 each. The rest of the team a combined 14 points.
The number 5 senior in the country, Darius A-Cuff, shouldering the load as he gets it out to Beamer. Kick out, Quinones for 3. Not this time. Rebound, James. Now James pushes through. Out to Mingo, and they smartly pull it back out at the 2:30 mark.
Love that. High basketball IQ.
Dylan Mingo into the corner. Anthony for 3. Not there. Rebound to White. White runs the floor. Gets into a tie-up with James. And James is tagged with a foul. He can't believe it. His second.
That easily could have been a jump ball.
Thought so.
Looks like the referee saying that he got his hands on the offensive player's wrist.
So IMG retains it. A-Cuff for 3. Not there. Rebound Stagg. Now Beamer's open for 3. And he drills it.
All right, Sam, we got ourselves a ball game.
3-point game, 2 minutes left. In the nightcap of the Bob McKillop Invitational, we get a classic. And for Lou High, this doubles as their senior night. The senior, James, makes his move. And a foul against Beamer. With just a few ticks on the shot clock. Reached his hand in the cookie jar.
And again, if I'm guarding Nigel James, so shifty, the back of my feet may be at the elbow. And I'm making him make a pull-up jumper. And if he makes it, I'm going to shake his hand.
And now a timeout. It'll be Lou High ball with 1:44. Defensively, is there any specific way to attack this Lou High team? I mean, Dylan Mingo's been shooting the lights out, but three-pointer's their weakness.
Yeah, I mean, it's ball movement. You have to continue to be patient. Even when you don't feel that you have the best opportunities, you have to continue to just try to get high percentage looks in the best way possible.
Darius A-Cuff today, 18 points, but not the most efficient night for him. 7 of 19 from the floor, 3 turnovers, 3 fouls. It's Lou High ball up 3. Looking to protect a lead they've held the entire fourth quarter. And they'll smartly bleed some clock. Mingo to James. Nice hesitation, and James can't finish it. Ball's bobbling around, and it goes to Beamer. Beamer, A-Cuff, the 3 is good. And we're tied.
And I love that Beamer kept that ball for an extra second to allow A-Cuff to get set to make a much easier catch-and-shoot 3.
IMG played in a double overtime thriller yesterday. Let's see what's in store tonight. Under a minute left. It's Mingo stripped. A-Cuff flies for it, and it's IMG ball. What a defensive stand.
The quick hands. with Darius Acuff as Mingo is driving downhill. He's able to kind of pull the chair a little bit and get his hand on that ball.
And this is when it's been Acuff o'clock in the fourth quarter. Acuff drives in, finds Stagg, working on Onyeguere, missed it. Mingo the board. And the shot clock's off. So Luhai can hold for the final shot as Beamer commits a foul on Caden Mingo. And that's the fifth on Beamer, so he just fouled himself out with an intentional foul, and his jaw, like yours, Trey, is dropped.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
You gotta know the situation, right?
And he looks frustrated as maybe somebody told him to foul. It's the only explanation that I have. So many times as a young player, you've only been in a handful of these situations where the stakes are so high. If somebody must have heard somewhere, foul, foul, foul.
Right, he was lagging back and then suddenly sprinted right to Mingo.
Yes. And that's why I think he was frustrated, because he felt like he heard it from somewhere.
Well, is it possible someone was saying foul, foul just kind of to the team and Beamer was the first to respond?
You know, as a player, sometimes, Sam, there's so much going on in your head, and you're thinking maybe about the last play or the next play. Sometimes you forget to focus on what's now. Luckily, they weren't in the bonus.
Now, mental mistake as Luhai has the shot clock off. A chance to win it with 10 seconds left. Here's Caden Mingo. The screen from Onyeguere. Mingo to Mingo for the win. Got it! Oh! The Mingo connection wins it for Luhai.
How about that?
And now they're saying, hold on, 1.3 seconds are left in regulation.
I think that
So IMG will have a chance.
I don't think there's that. There's definitely time, but I don't think there's 1.3.
Well, in the meantime, let's watch the Mingo connection.
Oh, maybe.
Dylan Mingo, 4 of 5 from downtown. He has been the hottest shooter all weekend long.
Man, that is impressive for a young man that coming into this tournament shooting 20% has answered all the doubts about his jump shot shooting ability.
So 1.3 seconds for IMG, more than enough time to catch it and shoot it. And all eyes probably on number 5, Darius Acuff. Here we go. Quinones to half court. It tips to Mingo, who fittingly throws it in the air as Luhai takes down 5th-ranked IMG.
What a ball game.
Dylan Mingo plays hero. And Nigel James setting up so much of this down the stretch in the fourth quarter. He is tonight's Nike Player of the Game. Really all weekend long, Trey. Sensational. 13 points, 3 assists tonight.
And how about the senior getting the start and coming off the bench all year long. Selfless leader. But you know he's going to finish games, and just like that dunk, helped finish a 2-0 Luhai performance here in the Bob McKillop tournament.
And now it's photo time. Kai and Anthony wearing the three-point goggles as Lehigh finishes 2-0 at their Invitational. A 35-point dismantling of Oak Hill yesterday, and then at the buzzer, they take down IMG, this Lehigh team, as good as it gets in America. Any final thoughts, Trey?
Just a great way as a senior to finish off your last home game for these seniors with a game winner. You'd love to see it, in a little bit of a slam from Kai and Anthony.
So Lehigh takes down IMG, and that'll do it for our coverage of the Bob McKillop Invitational. Alongside our wonderful crew led by Paul Bronstetter, Ryan Kowalski, and Rico Marrero. My partner and friend Trey Demps. Sam Brief saying so long from the McKillop Invite, where Lehigh wins it at the buzzer.